I want to first ask you about the German Chancellor's comments on Sunday that Europe has to decide its own destiny and maybe can no longer rely on the U.S. as the partner that it's been since World War II. How do you feel about Europe's relationship with the United States of America under President Trump?
Well, as regards EU-U.S. relations, it must be noted that we have actually a long-standing strategic partnership, which is lasting for decades. So I think this strategic partnership can also survive somewhat turbulent times, and still we believe that it's very important that the Western democratic world is cooperating close among themselves.
How do you feel, though, about the seemingly protectionist bent that concerned the other leaders at the G7 in Sicily last week?
Well, we have made this point very clear from the EU side that we remain open for trade, remain open for economic cooperation, and call other partners to follow similar policies. Of course, then we need to see what other partners would take in terms of concrete steps. So far, we had heard lots of political rhetorics, but then we need to see what are really the concrete steps, and then we must assess what are our reactions to them.
If you look at the concerns that other members of the G7 had last week, ranking top among them was climate change. And I want to just pivot to China here, because I've got a chart. You can't see it, but it's pretty clear. China is the biggest polluter in the world, contributing about 1/3 of global carbon emissions. On the other hand, if you look at it per capita, the U.S. is a massive polluter. The only bigger polluters in the world really are Australia and some of the Emirates. How important is it that the U.S. stay in the Paris Accord? We believe that this is one area where EU can actually take a lead globally. We regret this decision of US to leave the Paris Agreement. We note, however, that legally it requires certain steps and it takes time. It actually takes years to quit the Paris Agreement. And this will be one of the topics also in EU-China summit, how we can cooperate closer to tackle the climate change.